Jonnie joins us now. I mean, this is the hardest thing I can imagine for you, Jonnie. You've got your 3 little children, and you just want to make life as brilliant for them as possible without them knowing what's coming.
Yeah, it's funny. It's only been recently that I've considered when we're going to tell them, because, you know, the twins are 2.5 years old. Rex is 4 at Christmas. So they're so young. But at the moment, I'm me, thinner version, and I don't think there's any need to tell them.
You've got enough energy to play with them, to engage with them. Read
Yeah,
their stories,
exactly. So what do they need to know? And I think it'd be a lot for them to get their heads round. So for now, let's let the good times roll for as long as possible.
Little children of that age live in the moment, don't they?
Yeah.
I can imagine there's probably part of you that just thinks, why worry them? Why make them fearful?
Well, I think the same myself. You know, I try my best to put my head in the sand as much as possible, because I think, well, what's the point in spending your days thinking about cancer when you could be thinking about something more interesting, like the gas bill?
Is that something that you're worried about at the moment?
Exactly.
Of course.
Like, you know, when you get given this red flag, you're not going to go past this red flag, Mr. Irwin. You're not, all right. But everyone else will go past it. You think, well, I need to put them in the best financial position as possible. So, you know, the cost of living is a concern, because I might not be around too much longer to witness it, but my family certainly will. So it's an added pressure on the current situation, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's extraordinary, Jonnie, that you're being this brave and courageous and talking so openly and sharing it. But I know that initially that wasn't your plan. You wanted to keep your health and what you were going through secret, didn't you?
Yeah, because I was in fear of kind of what's happened to some extent. When people find out you've got cancer, I mean, I knew what I felt when I just heard the words. It's just this terrifying thing, the word cancer. And I thought, if I feel like that, everybody else will feel like that. And lo and behold, you know, I lost some work through it. And so I wanted to keep it a secret, because professionally I didn't want to lose work, but also socially and emotionally, people treat you differently, and people start making decisions for you. Oh, I didn't want to ask you because, you know, you got cancer. Oh, yeah, I don't want to go out and have a good time, do I? Because I've got cancer. And so if I withheld that information, I found I could live a normal life right up until probably a year ago.
And then it became untenable and you had to share the news?
Yeah, well, there's certain busybodies on social media, like, you don't look well, you look ill, you should see the doctor. I mean, I had someone come up to me after a Place and Sun Live exhibition saying, my wife says you're too skinny. And I was just like, well, you're not, are you? And he couldn't believe I was kind of biting back. But what do people expect to gain from it?
The front page of The Sun this morning says that you were axed after you got cancer. Now, the production companies say that they couldn't get the adequate insurance for you to do, presumably, the travelling that you needed to do with the condition. Do you feel aggrieved?
Oh, yeah, I feel massively aggrieved. I mean, my point was, I could work on Escape to the Country. That's the same show, albeit better. But, you know, I can travel away from home for 3 to 4 days. And when I was told I couldn't do A Place in the Sun because they didn't think they could get insurance, it just broke my heart. And I just didn't think they'd even fought for me. They'll say they did, but...
Well, this is what they said. We have to give them the right to reply.
Yeah.
Freeform Productions say no stone was left unturned in trying to enable Jonnie to continue his international filming with us during COVID, but the production company were unable to secure adequate insurance cover for him. You know, it's a relationship you had with them for 18 years.
Yeah, I just think... I mean, compare that with A Place in the Sun Live, the exhibition company, or Escape to the Country. I mean, that's a positive. I've been bowled over by some people in their desire to help me and to help me earn money for my family. It's been great. And, yeah, I mean, not working on A Place in the Sun anymore, that affected my mental health. You know, you get cancer, you've got all the problems associated with it. I'm not brushing over that, but there are many.
Yes.
And then you get something that you know, I'm a family man now, but being a TV presenter almost defines you. And not being able to travel and do what I think I'm pretty good at, and not being able to provide for my family. Like every show I do now, that's money for my family in the future.
Let's talk about your lovely family. You're married to Jessica.
Yeah.
You have Rex, who's 4 years old.
On Christmas Day.
Oh,
really?
Oh,
yeah.
Fantastic. You've got
that was the most sober Boxing Day I've ever had.
Now, tell us about this Christmas. I can imagine you're capturing it all on camera and video, aren't you? Because,
yeah,
you know, it's important for those little boys to
absolutely.
have
I mean,
that.
Now's about making memories.
Yes.
Of course it is. I'm sure most people in my positions think the same, but I'm probably going harder on it because I know my children are so young, they probably won't remember me. I'm pretty much guaranteed they remember me. But I want it at least on camera, on film, to be able to not remind them, but show them that the early days were brilliant. Yeah. And bear in mind what my wife does on birthdays and Halloween, I think our house is going to look like something out of American movie.
As it should.
Yeah.
The Christmas special. Jonnie, what would you say to somebody, I mean, because you've spoken so passionately about the reaction people had to your cancer, what would you say to people this morning about understanding that just because you've got a cancer diagnosis, people shouldn't be treated differently and that you're very much living every moment, you're not dying from this disease?
That's just it, Ben. I'm going public because of a few reasons, but not to... First of all, to empower people in my position to say, look, I've got cancer. But my going public is actually more to educate those without cancer. Treat us normally, treat us with respect. You know, we're, in a lot of ways, people with disabilities, but we want the same respect any human being deserves. So if we're working, let us work if we're up to it. Don't make decisions for us, treat us normally, because that's why we're keeping it secret. Like the very talented actress, I think Helen McCreary is her name, who's played Polly in Peaky Blinders. She felt she had to keep it secret for all of her life, and it shouldn't be that way. We should be able to talk about our feelings, and in doing so, you'll benefit from so much support. But we're all, as citizens, we need to be better educated and adjusted to treat people like me. In my position, it's a powerful message and a really important one.
I hope you have a really special Christmas.
Thank you very much.
I know you will.
We will.
And you know, love to your family.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, keep fighting.
Thank you.
Can only imagine how many presents the boys are going to get as well.
Oh,
it's going to be sensational, absolutely sensational.
Yeah.
Look out, Argos.
Jonnie, all the best.
Thank you very much.